Bootloader. The bootloader to use will be grub with a graphical menu. That's what I always use, although there are other choices here. The device, you want to make sure you're putting the bootstrap on the proper device. This is going to be device SDB, and that is the correct one. Remember, that's the disk drive that starts with all the zeros. I do not want to put it on any of the other disk drives because we want to make sure we're booting. When this external drive is present, we want to make sure we're booting from it. So we would not want to rewrite the bootloader for device SDA in this situation, just on this new disk that we just plugged in. One of the options for booting up is how long will it wait before it just boots up, giving me a chance to change my mind. I've kind of evolved on this. I used to make a very short delay to make things happen quickly, but I've found with experience I like to actually give myself quite a bit of time so that I can change my mind in case I've booted up a machine and didn't realize I left the disk drive in that may be the wrong one. So I'm going to give myself almost 5 minutes. That's 299 seconds to change my mind before it'll actually default to boot up. Otherwise, I can press a button and make it go faster than that. Security, I'm not going to bother putting any boot up passwords on here because there are plenty of other passwords that come up after booting. So I'm just going to leave those options in place and click Next. Now it'll display a menu that's similar to what I'll see when I actually boot up from this device. It gives me it will offer several options for booting up, including Windows. It'll let me, even though this disk is in place, it'll say, well, would you like to boot from the other machine and run Windows? And that's an option I'll leave on here. It'll boot up Linux right here, or Linux in either of two diagnostic modes, or it'll let me boot up my old Linux, which was present on hard drive A on my other disk drive. So it knows about all of the other disk drives and what's on them, and it's found things to offer to let me boot up. I'm going to leave it like it is, with my primary option with this disk drive being from disk drive B, this new Linux. I'm not making any changes here. I'm just going to click Finish. It'll take a minute to write that onto the boot partition of that external disk drive. And then I think it'll advise me to shut down and remove the CD-ROM for which we booted up, and we'll be able to test this. We're just waiting for that confirmation. Okay, it says we're done. Please click Finish, restart your computer, and remove the LCD media when prompted. Okay, I'm clicking Finish. I'm going to restart, hitting Shutdown. It says turn off computer. Yeah, we'll just turn it completely off. And I think it'll give me an option here. It'll begin an orderly shutdown, turning off processes, etc. And then it'll reach a point where it's done. It'll give me the option of removing that CD. It'll actually open up my disk drive for me. I'm sitting here watching the lights on the CD were flashing. Now they've stopped for a while. It says shutting down the system. More flashing. My display turned off. I see more flashing on my CD drive. And my CD drive has opened the door. Text on the display now says, please press Enter once the live CD is removed. And I'm doing that. Pressing Enter. The CD drive has closed again, flashing, and my computer's turned off.